The King are here with this week's Game of the Week, putting Madden NFL 18 to the test. I mean, so far, Madden, you've been on a winning streak. You've got the last three right, including the Carolina and Tampa Bay game, to improve your record to what now? 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 4 and 5. We'll see if Madden can break even this week with the Kansas City Chiefs at the Dallas Cowboys. Some of the big news stories this week, since we are at week 9 in the NFL, the midway point. The trade deadline has come and gone. And Ezekiel Elliott is resuspended at the moment, I think. Excuse me. Whew. Yeah. What I don't want to dive too much onto that, is where Ezekiel Elliott is resuspended, but the NFL Players Association is filing an injunction to try to minimize the damage or whatever. And so forth, and I don't want to get too much on that. It's just one big old headache. I mean, one of the other big news stories that happened this past weekend was the owners talking about the protest, if that's still going on. Oh, and by the way, we joined this game as usual now, because now this is the only way that best works. This time late in the third quarter, and at the moment the Cowboys are up 29-17. But going back, joining the NFL owners. One particular NFL owner, Bob McNair of the Houston Texans, made a reference to a commonly used reference, not to disrespect or offend anybody, but apparently it did, calling he doesn't want the inmates to run the prison when it comes the players and whatever. I think I'm coming to this all wrong, but more or less there was a meeting with the owners and talking about how to stop players from protesting because it hurts revenue, sales, and stuff like that. And he made it use a commonly used phrase, and that didn't really go so well with the players for the Houston Texans. What happened? They all took a knee prior to the game because of him. And what happens? They go out, they lost, but they had one hell of a game against Seattle. I mean, Deshaun Watson, all he has done is missed half a game. He didn't start in week 1, and what happened ever since? Boom, he's just flying left and right and just nonstop. It's just incredible what he was able to do against the Seattle's defense in Seattle. So, yeah. Some other big game news stories, whatever. I mean, horrible. The injury bug continues, and it's not like it's just injury here, injury there. Like, I don't want to say it seemed like the last few years the ACL has been a very common injury. Well, this year it seems like season-ending, if not career-ending injuries. The tight end for the Chicago Bears, Zach Miller, appeared to make a touchdown catch, which was later overruled. Comes down and dislocates his leg, his femur, breaks his leg, and it was at the point of we're not trying to save his career, we're just trying to save his leg, because he had some artery damage and stuff like that, and was rushed to the hospital, had surgery, and it just seems like this year is more career-threatening injuries have been happening. But the best of luck to him. Hopefully, I mean, if his career's over, it's sad. But as long as he could walk again, that's better. But Also this week was the trade deadline, and some big names were traded away this week. None bigger than Tom Brady's backup, Jimmy Garoppolo, is now a San Francisco 49er. You wake up, you go to bed as division leader in the AFC East to number 2 pick overall in the West. But hey, this is last year's in contract. He wasn't going to stay in New England unless they were going to, he was willing to take a pay cut, or they were going to franchise take him, or he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll be willing to win 3 more rings behind Tom Brady or something. I don't know. But he's now a 49er. Some other trades, you had Calvin Benjamin from the Carolina Panthers get traded to the Buffalo Bills. Jay Ajayi, he got traded from Miami to Philly, because now Philly has a running back, because they didn't want to use former Wisconsin running back Corey Clement. No, he's only a rookie. I don't know about that. But the one trade that didn't happen was it's the Browns. Browns were negotiating with their division rival, the Cincinnati Bengals, to get A.J. McCarron. But apparently, they didn't file the paperwork in time. And of course, everyone's like, yeah, that sounds about right. It's the Browns. It's the Cleveland Browns. They'll know how to F it up. And yes, they did. And it just seems like the Browns can't make up who's going to play quarterback for them. They can't win. They can't make a draft pick. They get injuries, this and that. Oh, one plus side is, where was it? Josh Gordon is reinstated on conditional bias basis or whatever. Yeah, hasn't played a regular season game since 2014 because of substance abuse and stuff like that. It's just, well, maybe you can wish him the best of luck with that. Oh, and I'm just looking at some other news here on NFL.com. Reports Packers expressed interest in Hoyer before he signed with Pats. No good. He signed with the Pats. I'm not sure. I'm just reading random stuff. But other quarterback news. The Broncos they decided to bench Trevor Siemian in favor of former and Super Bowl backup quarterback Brock Osweiler. He's apparently going to get the start against the Eagles this week. But how about let's take a look. We're at the midway point of the season. It's sad to say that the season's halfway over. 8 weeks in. We're heading to week 9. We have 8 more after this week. And, we have some surprises, some not at division leaders. Running down the standings in the AFC East, you have the New England Patriots at 6-2. Surprise, surprise? No, not really. Defending Super Bowl champions lead the East as usual. But right behind them are the Bills at 5-2, the Dolphins at 4-3, and the Jets at 3-5. That's 3 more wins than some people thought the Jets would have. And the Dolphins and Bills, they're making competitive and not putting too much pressure on the Patriots, but at least when it comes to the wild card, they are. In the AFC North, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers at 6-2. I think the only surprise there is they only have 2 losses. But then you got the Ravens at 4-4, Bengals at 3-4, and not a big surprise there, the Browns at 0-8. Bengals and Ravens just a few years ago, I think 3 teams from the AFC North made the playoffs. Now you're lucky if you're going to get one no matter what. You're lucky if the other ones have a winning record. how they've been playing. Speaking of winning records, let's look at the AFC South. You have Tennessee and Jacksonville at 4-3 apiece. You know, they're fighting for division lead. You have the Texans, who are 3-4, who could easily be 5-2. I don't know about their other two losses. Week 1, they got destroyed by Jacksonville. I think that was week 1. I forget where their fourth loss is, but the game against New England and last week, they easily both could have won if they just kept shooting, had that shootout going. And then you got the Indianapolis Colts, you know, at 2-6, and where has that franchise gone? I mean, I understand the year you lost Tom Brady. Peyton Manning for the year, you suck. You suck for luck. You got luck. What happened? Luck is great. You get to the AFC Championship game. That was 3 years ago, if I'm correct. And now what? 3 years later, you suck again. He's hurt. He's on the bench. It's time for new management, new coaching. Let's just start all over. And finally, the AFC West, where we thought we were going to get 2, maybe 3 teams out of there for the playoffs. But at the moment, we only got the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 6-2, who, I don't know how that's broken down, because Kansas City beat New England, but Pittsburgh beat Kansas City, and I think New England and Pittsburgh still have yet to play. So by that logic, New England's going to beat Pittsburgh, right? Sure. But Kansas City are 6-2, Denver 3-4, Chargers 3-5, and Oakland. Oakland, where was that? You had that high hopes. High hopes. Down the drain they go. Bye high hopes. It's all that, Vegas talk. They just want to get better when they get to Las Vegas. Screw Oakland. They want out. They're 3-5. I really think if Derek Carr didn't get hurt at the end of the season last year, it wouldn't be like this, in all honesty. But then we flip our attention to the NFC. We go NFC East. I think there's a little surprise, just maybe a year or two soon. But the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFL at 7-1. Followed by Dallas at 4-3, Washington at 3-4, and the New York Giants at 1-6. Kind of a mirror there. I mean, the Giants 1-6. They have no more wide receivers. Dallas, I think. I mean, the last few weeks, Zeke Elliott has had career games, career highs, and so forth. And now he is and isn't suspended. I don't know. We'll find out. I know he's playing in this game, and you'll see a big play from him later on. But it's just so confusing how. Don't even want to talk about Zeke Elliott. The whole intention why he was suspended in the first place is lost. You ask why is he suspended? Oh, I don't know. In the NFC North, you have the Minnesota Vikings at 6-2. In all reality, they should be 5-3, but not that. Moving on, my Green Bay Packers are 4-3, still trying to get their first win without Aaron Rodgers, and hopefully they can get back on the winning track this week. Detroit Lions are 3-4, and the Chicago Bears are 3-5. I don't know if there's really any surprising there. Maybe Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay and all that. But I mean, without Aaron Rodgers, the truth will be revealed on how crappy the team is without Rodgers. But hopefully they can turn that around. NFC South, the New Orleans Saints regenerated. They've won 5 in a row. They started the season 0-2. So they could be another team that started 0-2, go on, make the playoffs, win the Super Bowl. Well, no, wait. The NFC South has represented the Super Bowl the last 2 years in a row. And what has happened? Oh, yeah, that's right. They lost both times. But they're 5-2. Carolina's 5-3. Atlanta, defending NFC champions, are 4-3. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who it seems like every time they finally make strides, they make that one step forward, they take 2 steps back the following season. They are 2-5 right now. Not looking good. And then the NFC West, Seattle's in first place at 5-2, which, you know, not a big surprise for some. But second place, whoa, and would be a wildcard team, the Los Angeles Rams at 5-2. Their defense is just rocking everybody. The real question is, can they take care of business, keep this up, and make the playoffs? And we might have a playoff game at the Los Angeles Coliseum. Who knows? Then the Arizona Cardinals are 3-4, and just like the Browns in the AFC North, the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC West are 0-8. Surprise, surprise, no, not really. But wouldn't it be surprising if their new quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, leads the team to an 8-8 record? Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him.
So,
kind of like a baseball hitter.
Let's just take a look.
And he's just
and
it. These guys,
if things don't change, I mean, if I had to make it a mid-season playoff report or whatever, I would have to stick more or less in the AFC. I would stick with the Patriots, the Steelers, and the Chiefs for sure to win their divisions. The South and the AFC,
they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive.
I do think you're going to get 2 teams from the AFC South to make the playoffs. Maybe, I don't know. Any 3 of those teams, not, you know, Patriots or the Colts are not included in this conversation. But you know what? I'm going to say Jacksonville. I know I had Houston as my Super Bowl pick and so forth, but I just feel like something's going to happen down the way and they're going to get screwed out. They've just lost too many games early. Say Jacksonville wins the South. We'll say the Bills. The Bills finally make the playoffs since 1999, the longest current drought. Let's go. They get one of the wild card spots, and you know what? We'll give the other wild card spot to Houston. Houston doesn't win the AFC South, but they get the 6th seed to stay alive. In the NFC, I mean, how do you not go with Philly? I think Philly's going to win the East. That's the only one I'm certain about. I'm guaranteed it right now. I will say the Vikings will win the North. I can't have confidence and faith in my Packers that they'll come back and win the North. I mean, I would love, but I just don't know. Don't know how Brett Hundley's going to turn out if they get another quarterback, how they're going to turn out down the road. If Rodgers is going to come back at any point, which if they're out of it, I wouldn't. So, but I'll say I'll go Saints and Carolina. They both make the playoffs as either division champions or wild card. And I'll say Seattle and LA, the Rams, make the playoffs as 1 and 2, the same division and so forth. So that's what Eagles, Vikings, Saints, Panthers, Rams, and Seahawks in the NFC. Chiefs, Texans, Jags, Steelers, Bills, and Patriots in the AFC. And I mean, the obvious would be Philly, but you know what? I'm going to pick the Rams. So I'll pick the Rams. Do I want the Rams? No. You know what? No. I'm going to stick with the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints are going to win the NFC just because the last 2 years you had the Falcons and you had the Panthers win the NFC. Why not the Saints? And who are they going to take on? Oh, that's a good question. We're going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to say the Steelers are going to win. And for the third year in a row, the third big name quarterback in the AFC, Big Ben Roethlisberger, is going to beat the Saints. The Steelers are going to win their 7th Super Bowl. And the Steelers and, well, Big Ben, maybe not retire, but Martavis Bryant will get his Super Bowl ring and then find a new team. So there you go. That's my mid-season Super Bowl pick is the Steelers over the Saints. I really don't want to pick the Steelers, but you know what? I'll do it anyways.
You put him through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone.
So there we go. So let's turn our focus on the games this week.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And it all starts with Thursday night, Buffalo at the Jets with the color rush. Yeah. We have the Bills at the Jets. Sunday we have the Ravens at the Titans, the Buccaneers at the Saints, Rams at the Giants, Broncos at Eagles, Falcons at Panthers, Bengals at Jaguars, Colts at Texans, Cardinals at Niners, 49ers, Redskins at Seahawks, the Chiefs at Cowboys. The match that you're seeing right now, which is currently 42-33, and oh, look at that! That's Ezekiel Elliott running down the field. He's at the 20-15, 10-5. Oh, and he's stopped by a suspension. 72 yards. Yeah. Well, like I said, he's had career games the last few weeks. Sunday night game. Oh, here's a thriller. The Raiders at Miami. At the Dolphins. What a thrilling game to watch Sunday night to curl up and fall asleep to. But you never know. Maybe it's a thriller. Maybe with Marshawn Lynch back, he goes all beast mode over Miami. And then finally the Monday night game, the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers, and we'll see if Detroit can get their second win in the state of Wisconsin in 28 years. Let's see, 92.
They couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown.
I think that was 23, so yeah, like in 25 years, yeah. Only their second win in the state of Wisconsin in 25 years. So, hey, it's something to look at. But looking at the game, looking at the matchups, this is. I feel like this game is. Kareem Hunt might just have a career game again.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football.
The Cowboys' running attack isn't that good. I mean, you saw what Todd Gurley did against them. You saw a rookie in Aaron Jones from Green Bay did against them, and they just don't have the run stop. But we got some decent matchups. Tampa Bay, New Orleans. That's always the NFC South. Is one of the most competitive divisions in my mind. Doesn't matter how crappy each team is, it just seems like anytime the South plays each other, and the South is playing each other this week with the Buccaneers and Saints and Panthers and Falcons. And those games go either way. But
so the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready.
That's why it's tough to decide who's going to win out down there. But how about this? My guarantee. Let's see how did I do last week. Sunday night, that got right. That's right. That got wrong. Yeah, I went 2-1 again. My guaranteed pick. If you want to place any money down on who's going to win, I'm going to take the Rams over the Giants. I know Giants got to win over Denver, but the Rams are not Denver. I'm picking, like I said, LA, the Rams over NYG. And my upset pick of the week. I don't know how much of an upset it's going to be, but oof. I don't know. Looking at these, you know what? Just throw it out there. How about San Francisco? San Fran
as he'll punt it away for the second time
over Arizona is my upset, and
no return possible here.
Don't know how well that's going to turn out. But how are we doing here? We got, it's 33-48 with a $1:48 left. Time's running out for Kansas City. I think they got one timeout left. Gotta move that ball. But looking at how the NFL is doing so far this season, I thought we have some surprises, some not so biggest surprise so far. I would have to say is, biggest news. Well, you have the Zeke case, you have Aaron Rodgers, and all the other big name stars being injured and missing the entire season. You see rejuvenating the resurrections of some former teams that had glory, that are returning to glory, you could say, whatever, in the Bills and the Rams, getting good again. And some teams that have seen success falter, like the Colts, like the Packers. And somehow Tom Brady and the Patriots are still going strong. Oh, Kansas City got the first down. Clock's ticking though. Tick, 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 tick. Time is running out. It's always fun when you run out of things to talk about, but let's focus on this game. Oh, hits his receiver at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Kansas City. Tyreek Hill. In that Monday night game against Denver, had one of the worst passes, worst interceptions of all time. And of course, I have him on my fantasy team. And I'm down. I need Tyreek Hill to have a big game, make a few catches, hopefully maybe return a punt or two and have a catch. But what does he do? When they're inside the red zone, they try to do a trickery play, pitch it to him, and he's rolling to his left because he's a lefty. Throws it left-handed and throws an interception. That doesn't help me. I lose points that way.
As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
So we got what? Kansas City pulls within 8. They get the onside kick, and they have a chance. They have a chance to pull within, get a chance to tie this game up, force overtime. Here we go, Andy Reid. Your career's on the line. I want to put his career on the line. But I mean, how you go from Philly, where everyone hates you. Last few years, you suck in Philadelphia. You end up in Kansas City and turn that program around. I mean, it's great to see the Chiefs. It'd be nice to see the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl. Oh, here's the onside kick, and it's recovered by Dallas. That's the game. It was a surprise, the Dallas Cowboys. Ooh. The Cowboys are going to get the W here, 48-40. And they're all celebrate good times. Come on. But no, it's nice to see the Chiefs. I mean, the funny fact is, the Chiefs and the Jets have the two longest Super Bowl droughts. Jets won Super Bowl 3, Chiefs won Super Bowl 4. So the real question is, who's going to get there first? Who's going to get back there first? The funny thing would be is if it came down to both of them, they both played in the AFC Championship games, and someone's going to go to the Super Bowl for the first time in umpteen years. Oh, hey, look. Kansas City called a timeout. What a waste of a timeout. I don't know why Madden does that. That's so frustrating. Man, Chiefs aren't going to win. They're not going to get the ball back. Why waste that last timeout? Just let the clock run out. Take your loops and move on. But I swear the Jets have been, participating in most AFC Championship games without winning one. Yes, they won the AFL Championship game in '68 to go to the Super Bowl then, or the AFL NFL Championship game. But it's sad, and it looked like this past Sunday, the Atlanta Falcons played their 4th straight game against the AFC East. They won their first 3 games, who they play against the NFC North. They beat the Lions, they beat the Packers, they beat the Bears. They were 3-0, and then they lost to Miami. No, they lost to Buffalo. They lost to Miami. And then they lost to the New England Patriots. Or was it the Patriots in Miami? 1, 2. Something like that, yeah. And then
now comes the Cowboys punter.
Fourth straight game against the AFC East. I thought they were losing against the Jets. They were stumbling, rumbling, bumbling. They were losing, but somehow the Jets, were the Jets and Atlanta won. But here you go. Here's your final. Cowboys win 48-40. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Zeke Elliott's going to play. Just serve your suspension. Get the 6 games over with. Then once you're done, you can take it out on the field. And not women. But that will do it for me here. And we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully Madden can break even, go to 5-5 after 9 weeks of play. And But I really think Kansas City is going to take care of business. They're going to take care of Dallas. Zeke Elliott's not going to play. Kareem Hunt's going to run all over that defense. Hopefully. Hopefully. But anyways, like I said, that'll do it for me this week. I'll see y'all next time for week 10. And we'll see if Madden can keep riding this high or we have just a little setback. So thanks again. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you then.